Hey, you're back with BA, and we're doing WD Gann's Overcoming Orb video. What we're going to be doing here is taking a look at the forecast process, and also with an emphasis on orb, okay? If you take a look at the video I made that looks at WD Gann's 1929 forecast, you will see he was off a couple of days at some times, while other points were bang on. In practice, this is called orb, or another way to look at this by Gann aficionados is lost motion with time. Now, in other videos we've talked about and handled lost motion with price. Well, this is lost motion with time. This creates a little bit of what WD Gann called slippage. Orb works like this. You have a mean date, and we're going to get into all these things pretty soon, that you have a mean date that the time cycle is due, and the turn can come in 2 days either side of that. So like if your cycle mean projects to a Wednesday, you know that it will come in Monday through Friday, which is 2 days to either side. Yikes, that's a lot of play. If you have ever traded, you know that this presents a problem as you don't want to be waiting all week for a turn. In order to overcome this, an orb technique is placed over the mean date so that the turn can generally be narrowed down within a 48-hour window. There are various orb techniques in Tunnel. I use what I call the Adirondack Mountains from Tunnel. It is a planetary-based orb system and is used on all the forecasts that I share. Some have asked if it is possible to do intraday turns with the planetary orb system. The answer is no, because planets are not that precise, although there are other methods out there that are. If you have my free lessons, which I share from my website, you know about averaging the repetitions of the time cycle. If not, no worries, I'll show you a brief example here. Cycle 1 came in at 310.3 degrees. Cycle 2, repeat, came in at 312 degrees. Cycle repeat 3 came at 310.5 degrees. The average, you just add these up and then you divide by 3. The average is 310.9 degrees. We need to see what day the planet hits it. Okay. Here we've got 310.9, which actually occurs between these two dates. So instead of having just one mean date, we have December 14th, December 15th, because 310.9 kind of comes in between there. Okay. That gives us December 14th, 15th a possible pivot, but that's a Saturday. So if we count 2 days back, 1, 2, we got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday that it can come in. We got to count forward 2 days from Saturday, which gives us Monday. Okay, so our turn here, our pivot can either come in the 17th, the 12th, the 13th, or the 14th. Okay, and we're also going to need to know if it's going to come in as a high or low, which I'll show you how to figure that out in just a minute. In a forecast, each pivot is taken through an orb process. The order of the pivots always goes high, low, no exceptions. Then one has a completed forecast. Let's take a look at an example of this. Mean dates for Euro US dollar for July 2012 coming from averages of past repetitions. Okay, July 1. July 12, July 19, July 26. Now, those are the averages, okay? So what we're saying is the turn can come in 2 days either side of those. Here's those same mean dates, and we're putting that through an orb, projected dates through an orb system. July 1, July 14th, July 19th becomes July 20th, July 26th becomes July 25, okay? So these are our projected dates. Then we'll have these here. These are the forecast dates. Now, the next thing we need to know is we got to check the high-low rotation coming into the month. Okay. The June 26 pivot, and we'll get to that in a minute, which was the last pivot before the July 2012 forecast came in as a low. This means we will have the following rotation. And go ahead and write this down. July 1 high, July 14 low, July 20 high, July 25 low. Okay, and that's all based off the June 26 low pivot, which we'll go see in a minute. Here we are at the Euro US dollar, and let me get up. This is our low here, which was our last pivot before the forecast. It came in as a low. Okay. Up here, we were projecting a high for July 1. We've got a high June 29th and the next day is July 2nd. So it came in over the weekend. Okay, came in over the weekend. From our next one is a July 14th low projection, which is down here in this area. Okay. And then we go up, and that's July 13th there. Then we go up to a July 19 high. And our forecast was July 20th, and that is July 19th right there. And then down to a July 25 low, and this is July 24 down here. Okay. All right. So that's how you come through the forecast, and you get from what's called a mean date into these ones that are actual turns. That's the actual process that I have to go through every month to do that. If you've gained insight from my videos, subscribe so you can get the latest on my free market calls, updates, commentary, and teachings. In Tunnel, Robert Gordon represents certain things at certain times. Like in the beginning, he's called Cottonhead. Okay. Then later on, he's Supreme Commander. These are entirely different things. This is a coding technique that Gann uses. Robert Gordon is different things at different times. And as you can see, knowledge is priceless. Hey, this is BA reminding you, you can succeed. Take care. Bye-bye.